Another reason I want to make this video is to answer some questions I've had over the past several months about YouTube. And for a lot of people, they're like, I'd like to do a YouTube channel, but I don't know if I can handle the negative comments. Guys, Brian here for Yes You Can Play Guitar, and once again, I am late to this barbecue. Oh yeah, my friends. Oh yeah. You guys know me, sometimes I'm late to the barbecue, but I do show up, and by God, do I ever eat. So a little while ago, Joe Bonamassa decided to quit social media because he didn't like the path it was going, and he got very angry before he went on stage at some comments he received on Instagram. Why am I talking about this now? Well, YouTube is an interesting thing. I have a couple of funny stories about nasty comments I want to share with you guys, and also I've had some friends, some family, and some of my viewers on the channel ask me some questions about doing a YouTube channel and about the negativity that can come with it. So, first off, let's talk about Joe Bonamassa. So Joe is a fantastic guitar player. He has a huge following. And some comments were made that he really didn't appreciate and really angered him. So apparently, this guy, I'm assuming that there was a bunch of nasty messages, but Joe was about to go on stage and he was looking at his Instagram, and this comment came up about his hairline. Now, hey, you know what, guys? A lot of us, we have receding hairlines, we lose our hair. Funny story about that, when I was in my 20s, I used to shave my head, not because I had any radical views or anything, just because I just didn't want to pay the 20 bucks to pay a hairstylist back in the day to cut my hair. My mother used to say, "Oh, Bri, you have such a nice head of hair, enjoy it while you have it." Well, you know what? My mother was right. Because you know what? A few years back I said, hey, my hair's going, so I might as well just shave it off. But for some other men, sometimes they, they're a little more sensitive to it, whatever. So Bonamassa, again, he's a greatly successful guitar player. He's an amazing guitar player. But there's something about this comment, I'm sure a lot of other ones he had tolerated building up to this. But he said, "Time to shave the head, Joe," this guy on Instagram. "Time to shave the head, Joe. It's over. Your hair had a good run, but now it's in retirement." Joe Bonamassa replies to him, "How about this, Rich? I think he means you do you, and let me do me. We understand each other." Then another guy jumps in, "Joe's rocking the power donut, bro." I guess that means the bald spot on the head. Joe Bonamassa writes back, "I'm about to rock a sold-out show in Tucson. What are you up to this evening?" So then Joe Bonamassa follows us up, and he posts this. "So, after sleeping on this, I have come to a conclusion. Last night, free book, 101 Tips for Guitar Players. No, thank you. So, after sleeping on this, I've come to a conclusion. Last night, I allowed a few clowns," and he names the fellow that really bothered him, "being one of them, to cause me to go on stage angry. That is not fair to you, the fans. Also, this isn't what I signed up for 8 years ago. Social media has become such a distraction for me. This place feels like it has the maturity of a high school, and I fear I am going to be provoked one day to say something I might regret. So I'm leaving this wonderful place to the influencers and good-looking. Enjoy it before it destroys your soul. I will see you in real life somewhere down the road and in Riverside tonight." Probably had a gig there. "Any posts on this page going forward will not be from me. Thanks for the 8 years." So, why am I making a video of this? As I said, it's very interesting. I'm late to the barbecue. Sometimes I am, but I still come. I'll still eat the food. Oh, yeah, my friends. And I might stay and chat for a while, okay? Depending on how good the conversation is, because we all like good conversation. Social media is an interesting thing. When you're famous, like Joe Bonamassa is, Joe makes a great living from music and is playing. You're putting yourself out there, as you are with YouTube. And, with success, comes the negatives as well. I was watching a video the other day of, it just popped up in my feed. I think it was a short or something, but it was Justin Bieber being extremely rude to some people wanting to take a selfie with him.
Happy holidays, Jay. Happy holidays, Justin.
It's not going to happen today.
Do you know when?
Have a good one, Justin.
Justin, I'm going to keep you in my prayers.
Now, I get it. I understand how people's privacy can be, you know, when you're going out to your vehicle or something, you know, people with the paparazzi and everything, I can understand people saying, man, I'm losing my privacy. But he was a real jerk. Like, he was a real jerk to the person asking him for the picture. Sometimes it comes hand in hand with being famous, as you are. I told you guys a story a few times about how when I was in a different industry for a few years, I was in the lifting fitness industry. See, look at that drive. Not near as... I met a very big name who always went on about how great his fans are. And when I met him in person, I realized what a jerk he really was. So I respect Joe Bonamassa. That's how he feels. He just doesn't want to deal with the BS. That's great. For me personally, I probably wouldn't have even acknowledged the guy. So Joe Bonamassa, he kind of took the bait there with that guy. The guy was probably just trying to get his attention or see if he would react. And it looks like Joe took the bait. But, you know, he handled it how he saw fit. Now, another reason I want to make this video is to answer some questions I've had over the past several months about YouTube. And for a lot of people, they're like, I'd like to do a YouTube channel, but I don't know if I can handle the negative comments. So I've told you guys in the past, many years ago when I ran my music school, I had a very busy music school. I had a small YouTube channel. This is like 10, 11, 12 years ago. My video editing skills were minimal. Some might argue they still are. But I didn't understand the bigger picture of YouTube. It was just a little local thing. You guys, I've talked a little bit about my story of my musical burnout. So I was teaching guitar constantly. I was gigging constantly. I was practicing constantly. Maintaining a high intensity and level of involvement with the guitar. It was a 24/7 endeavor. It's hard to maintain that intensity for years and years and decades. I've also mentioned in previous videos that I was under a lot of pressure to make money. So I had a burnout period. You know, I had other interests. You know, I was always, when it came to lifting, being in the gym, I had some pretty good genetics for strength, for lifting, for powerlifting. So I got really serious about my lifting, and I did really well for a few years. And during that time, I had a YouTube channel, and I ended up having a small following, got some endorsements from some companies. But I had a YouTube channel then, again, with my very limited skills, and this guy, you know, he was just, you know, I don't really have anything positive to say about him, but he was kind of a pseudo friend I knew at the gym. He's like, dude, we should start a YouTube channel together. But once we started doing these videos together, I kind of realized his attitude was very negative. And I never met a more negative human being my whole life. He's the only person I've ever known where I'd go out of my way to do something nice or to help him, and he would complain about it. It was just the weirdest thing. But the point I'm trying to get to is we started a YouTube channel and it started getting some views. Boy, in that industry, you got the nastiest comments. And I quickly learned to develop a very thick skin because I had been called every name in the book. With this guy that I was doing the channel with in the very beginning, he couldn't take it. Like, he would see these negative comments towards him and he'd just be freaking out saying, I'm going to hunt this person down, and he'd be marching around this and that. And it was just the weirdest thing. And I'm like, okay, he shouldn't be on YouTube. For me, I just learned very quickly, don't take it personally. And that was years ago. And now YouTube's changed. So you guys probably saw I did a video about Pantera, the reunion, and Zakk Wylde on guitar. It got quite a number of views. I think it has about 90,000 views. And in that, there were some negative comments. But now what YouTube does, if it's a negative comment or if it's, you know, if there's vulgarity in it or swearing, it has a filter. So it holds the comment for you to have to review it. And you should see some of the comments and the fighting between some of the people making the comments. And there were some personal attacks at me, but I don't take it personally. I don't know this person. Who are they to stop me from, you know, going after my dreams and enjoying the YouTube channel that I love doing? you know, when I do click on, for most of them, when I do click on their YouTube profile and I go to their channel, usually 9 times out of 10, it's usually like an anonymous handle. Not always. And 9 times out of 10, they have no content and no followers. So what does that tell you? Is it really worth getting bent out of shape? But again, I developed a very thick skin quite a while ago with YouTube. But I know some other people, they just have a very sensitive personality, and maybe it isn't for them. But if you're still creative and you want to do YouTube, if you really need to, turn the comments off. I personally wouldn't, because that interaction of the viewers and the comments and the discussions, I think, is good for your channel. It's good for you. It's good for your brand, and it's good for your placing in the algorithms. But some people, you know, if it's going to bother you that much, just disable the comments. Just don't worry about it. Just do your thing and do you, and that's all I have to say about it. So again, this Joe Bonamassa thing, you know, I was on holidays for 2 weeks. I meant to do a video sooner about it, but good on him. He's handling it the way he sees fit. You know, social media is what it is. But, you know, with a lot of these people, like YouTube, I've met some amazing people on YouTube. I've met people that donate to my channel. Even if someone donates $1, I'm just sitting there going, oh my God, like this person from halfway around the world who I don't even know thought enough of me to do that. I still can't wrap my head around it. I have a Patreon with people that donate and support my channel. I can't wrap my head around it. Guys, I know we live in a crazy world. It's a very negative world. There's a lot of bad. We're always exposed to the bad. The bad is what sells and what gets people's attention. But you know what? You have to believe in the good. There is good out there. You just have to learn how to associate yourself and appreciate the good and know how to separate yourself from the bad, because there's a lot of bad out there. So, you know, boy, when you've been through some stuff in real life, really nasty people out there that are out to hurt you, to take advantage of you, what are some comments on YouTube or Instagram? Really? You know, if you need to, block. If you really need to, disable the comments. That's my take on it, guys. What do you think about Joe Bonamassa quitting social media? I know that's an old topic, but what do you think about people dealing with negativity on social media? Comment below. I'd really like to hear what you guys have to say. Check out my Patreon sometime. If you want to support the channel, or even if you just want to donate to the channel, the links are up here. The links are in the description box. It's greatly appreciated, guys. We just hit 15,000 subscribers yesterday. You guys rock my world in a positive way. In a positive way. Remember, practice hard, but practice smart. And we'll see you soon.